Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie and this is Eve's Rising Tarot, and this is a general collective love reading for you and the person on your mind. If you've been led here, I'm certain that there is a message or many messages within the reading for you. I would ask that you please use your intuition as you listen to discern what messages are meant for you to take and what you should leave behind. Because it's a general reading, it's geared towards a larger audience of viewers on the same or similar frequency, so it's nearly impossible to resonate with everyone, and you'll know right off. Your intuition will let you know what to take. In the reading, we will get into your person's energy towards this connection, how they're feeling about it right now, your energies towards each other, and a little bit of clarifying on that. Strongest connecting love energies that are crossing and or connecting. And then we'll get into you, what you need to know, what you need to see, what you're being guided to do or act upon or realize or choose, whatever that may be, whatever comes out. So let's get into it. What is your person's energy towards this connection? What is your person's energy towards this connection right now? So 2 came out. So we have bitterness, resentment, anger, hurtful words, realizations, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings, and then followed by peace. Balance, harmony, and friendship. So this is a very interesting, I want to show you so you can see the progression. So bitterness begins in this cold, black and white, outdated way of feeling and thinking for your person. But something was lit. They see something now that they didn't see before. And, what is this? Peace and a white flower, which is renewal, purity, divinity, right? Something new and pure. So your person is moving out of bitterness because of, epiphanies or awakenings of some sort within their understanding about this connection. And it's allowing them to step into a more harmonious and peaceful way of looking at this connection, where they're seeing that possibly a friendship or something balanced and beneficial can come from this. Okay, I'm going to put these up so I can refer to them. Okay, that's really incredible. So bitterness has, in the black and white imagery, it has thistle. And for some reason it's making me think of horses, because horses will eat the blossoms of thistle. And somehow the little needles that are in the body of the plant don't affect the horse. And seeing the relation to this kind of reminding me here, there is a silver lining or something that they're seeing, that beyond all the spiky, itchy, uncomfortable needles or whatever you call them in that thistle, there is something beautiful and valuable. There's also a ladybug. So a ladybug could speak symbolically to something. Maybe you've seen a ladybug recently. Maybe that means something to you. What is your overall energy towards them and vice versa? What are your energies towards one another right now? What are your energies towards one another? Okay. So, for you, I have 9 of Wands. Your energy towards this person is cautious, possibly distrustful, not fully feeling safe or comfortable or peaceful in how you look at the connection. The wounded warrior, somebody who has been through a lot, and life has given them, many reasons to doubt and distrust and be cautious in forward movement. So that's your energy, and that may be something you're keeping to yourself, or maybe something that your person has picked up on. Their energy towards you, a painful ending, painful realizations. This could be that epiphany, that understanding, right? That light bulb could represent that dawn of a new day, a new possibility, and a painful ego death of some sort. This is what I'm feeling with your person. Maybe the death of an identity or something they clung to in their belief system about themselves or about you and this connection. So 9-10. Both of you are coming from uncomfortable energies in how you're viewing one another. I want to get a little bit more about that. Why the 9 of Wands for you? Tell me more about this. Feeling safe or being unseen. Seeing a little bit of potential in moving forward, but really uncomfortable in taking that step forward towards this person. Why the 9 of Wands for you? Love affair, dirty little secret, sex fix down low. How does that play into here? Let's see. Maybe there is, in some sense, somebody that you are presently dealing with, or that you were dealing with, that you're feeling a sense of disloyalty to them in moving forward with your person. Maybe there's unresolved or unfinished business between you and somebody you're dealing with, or just recently have dealt with. Or maybe intimacy, sexual intimacy is a way in which you've connected with people. And outside of that, there's discomfort or an unclear way in understanding how or knowing how to move forward and open up to this person. Okay, so 10 of Swords. Why 10 of Swords for your person? Why the 10 of Swords for your person and how they're viewing you? You could also be in a relationship right now, and this person is outside of that relationship. Because I see this, and that could clarify too, family. That came out in the last reading. Maybe going towards this person means walking away from somebody you're presently committed to. That could be family, blood ties, a love affair. Or this could be that a love affair in the past or pursuing somebody romantically didn't turn out so well, and it's given you memories of things that were not very pleasant to go through in opening yourself up to another person. But having that family card come out as I was talking, as I was talking about, perhaps you're committed to someone, that's very much so confirming and clarifying that, because my gaze was drawn to the wedding ring on her finger. And it's kind of, the glare is a little tricky right there. Okay, 10 of Swords, Spirit, please clarify 10 of Swords. Why the 10 of Swords for your person? Toxic, drama, arguments, incompatible. And this feels very much so like this bitterness, feeling bitter towards you or being in a very bitter state towards you, feeling very spiky and unapproachable, right? In this, your person's energy towards this connection, resentment, anger, maybe they spoke hurtful words to you, right? So the painful ending, the ego death, the death of something, some realization that there's something different and there's something different. Drama, arguments, incompatible. This is the death of this way of being, this way of thinking. Their energy towards you is painful realizations that maybe they did this to themselves. And they just kind of have to sit and feel into the bed that they've made for themselves is what it feels like. But in doing so, this realization, it's uncomfortable to see, you know, the ways in which we do things that aren't for our best interest or those around us. And sometimes it's really hard for us, you, me, humanity, to be accountable for when we make a mistake or when we do something hurtful that was based in a misunderstanding or ignorance, right? The death of thinking that you are drama, that you and this person argue, that you and this person are incompatible. That is no longer a belief that is shared. And it feels, with this, I'm seeing the similarity in this little arch right here and this blackness, right? And the connecting, it just feels connected to me, that dark cloud of heavy, not real, not true blockage energy, which was this toxic way of thinking, has been lifted. And above it now is the dawn of a new day and an understanding of a new way to be for your person. So they're going through some heavy, possibly painful, uncomfortable realizations about themselves in regards to you. Okay. Simultaneously, you being in this kind of wounded warrior, distrustful, having a lot of experiences behind your back that you carry with you that are ever fresh in your mind and kind of influence how you look at this relationship, this connection, might be from past love affairs. Or having this sex fix could be very surface physical connections with people, but never getting in anything deeper with them than just the physical. Not letting it get to the emotions. It could also be influenced by your family beliefs, limitations that you have taken on from the influence and teachings and beliefs of family. Smell the roses on the bottom. And this rose came out here. Slow down, take some you time and get out in nature. And that was another thing that came out in the last reading, is to get out in nature. Smell the roses. Okay. Let's see here. What is the strongest connecting energy between you and your person right now? Present. As you listen to this, what is the strongest connecting energy between you and them? Better boundaries and communication. Creating boundaries requires self-love and discipline. It's not about you shutting people out or being unkind. It is about you telling them you care enough about yourself to create boundaries that are for your highest good. Clear communication is needed to keep your boundaries intact. So both of you are looking at this or considering this connection that exists between the two of you and recognizing and are prepared to come towards it with voicing boundaries. Maybe boundaries were something that needed to be fortified, and this connection showed you both where you lacked boundaries. So let's see what this image is. And then at the bottom is protection needed shield. So open and honest communication about what is okay and what is not. This is the energy that you are both in right now. So in some sense, the interactions that have led to this, and then balance needed, right? On the bottom of that, lacked boundaries, possibly resulting in, hurting one another or causing someone to walk away because they were not confident and comfortable and steadfast in communicating that a boundary was crossed. It is vital at this time to protect your energy field. You may also be in an environment for which you are absorbing negative vibes that are draining you. Call in Archangel Michael for protection and to clear your energy fields. Having a practice of grounding and putting a protective bubble around you every day will be helpful. So, better boundaries. Interesting. I want to get a little bit more about that. Tell me more about this. Better boundaries and protection needed. Better boundaries are what will ensure you both come into communication or pursuing one another again in a way that feels or puts up an environment that feels safe and respectful. And I read somewhere or saw a quote somewhere that even people with good intentions who are good people will cross boundaries that don't exist. So it's not necessarily just for people who are abusive of boundary crossing. It's for, just better understanding between individuals. So, we understand each other better. Okay, tell me more about this. Better boundaries and communication is the strongest energy. Let's get a clarifier for you and for them. So for you, missed opportunity. I didn't act when I should have. And I'm seeing in this better boundaries a person that's walking away, right? Maybe a lack of communicating a boundary, led to a divide of some sort or a block in communication, and someone walked away or you let them walk away instead of speaking up. And then for your person, confusion. I feel unclear about where we stand. So clarifying here, I didn't act when I should have, meaning I kept silent. You kept silent. You didn't speak up. And going silent is what caused this person ultimately to walk away. And for your person, confused. Not understanding why you went silent and why you didn't communicate. So feeling unclear about where they stand in having, the choice to walk away. There's no clarity. Okay. What is the strongest crossing energy? Strongest crossing energy between you and this person right now. Strongest crossing energy. The Poet. I want to read a little about it. Let's see here. Romantic, expressive, artistic. Expressing emotions is a necessity in the poet's life. Through music or other artistic means, the poet is able to pour his passion into something more satisfying than the pursuit of perfect romantic love. The poet is a reminder to make time for creative expression in your life. And that feels like creative expression. To the poet, emotions are inflated, even exalted. The poet is in love with falling in love. The idealization of romance can be a fixation for the poet. So the strongest crossing energy could be projections or expectations of what love should look like rather than the conscious, present act of just letting it be what it is and letting it unfold in an organic and a natural way. If a romantic experience fails to be anything less than perfect, the poet is deflated and quick to move on to other romantic pursuits. So no staying power. A willingness to just walk away rather than to communicate. To communicate boundaries. To say, hey, you know what, this didn't feel so good when you did this, and moving forward, it would be really fantastic if we recognize that I'm not comfortable with that, but I still want to get to know you, right? So just communicating and being mindful to protect and do and voice what it is that you need in the process of pursuing and dating this person. So the crossing energy is just a willingness to throw the towel in and walk away when things don't go perfectly. And what relationship was bred from that mentality, or what connection that's valuable and has withstood the time, you know, has that kind of mentality behind the experience. Not many. I want to get a little bit more about that. Let's see here. Which one do I want to do? Let's do these. Why the poet? Let's get clarifier for you and for them. Why the poet is the strongest crossing energy. What more can we understand about that? Why the poet? So for you, the distance between us kills me. Also, just directly above that, a missed opportunity. I didn't act when I should have. Walking away, throwing in the towel. A missed opportunity that hasn't been voiced. Taking that to the grave or keeping it silent, that you feel this way about this person, that you let them walk away, but you wish you hadn't. And allowing that distance to remain between the two of you is deeply saddening and uncomfortable and not a good feeling for you. So choosing to remain silent when given the opportunity to voice is what is kind of contributed to this disconnect. And your person, so clarifying this poet, is I was selfish and stuck in my ego. And I had said this felt like the death of the ego, the death of a way of believing themselves to be. I was selfish and stuck in my ego. In, toxic behavior. Okay. The ego is what projects and needs to know what's happening and what's coming 10 steps ahead. It needs to feel safe and that things are stable and predictable and known fully. And anything that questions that or goes beyond what the expectation is of that stability and that predictable future is then discarded. So it's a very egotistical way to be in that if things don't go perfect, you just move on. You don't communicate through them and find common ground and lay the boundaries and respect one another and communicate. So you're not happy about the distance, and they realize now, realizations, that I was selfish and stuck in my ego. I've been watching your socials and admiring your pictures. So they're getting their fix of you in other less tangible ways. Okay. What does Spirit want you to know right now? To bring your awareness to? What would Spirit like you to bring your awareness to at this time? The artist. You hold the infinite power of creation within you, a divine artist. Create something beautiful today. Feel the stars shining. You are the one with the universe and nature. The eternal light of creation shines through you forever. Create something beautiful today. Maybe you felt called to step into something creative. Whatever that may be, it'll be different for each of you. And you've kind of been sitting on it and not pursuing it. Well, this is a message to do it, to create something, to align with that creative power, which is the knowingness that you are one with all that is. A divine artist. Okay, let's see. What else would you like to say to the collective? To shift the focus back to you and what you are being called to see or do or understand at this time. What would you like the collective to know? Fuel. I enjoy doing things that fuel me. It feels great to do things for myself. When I make sure I am taken care of, I can better show up for those in my life and for that work that I do. So fuel, right? And feeling connected to this artist and create something beautiful today. This does feel like it's time to unclog the pipes of your creative energy. And when we receive divine creative ideas and we don't act upon those, they don't keep coming. They kind of stand as like high cholesterol. They block the channel through which that creative inspiration and thoughts and ideas come from. So if there's any part of you that's been feeling disconnected or lacking direction or inspiration or really just an understanding on how to go forward to make your life better, it's a call to listen more intentionally and more in a detailed fashion for those ideas. It could be turn left and go this way on that road and go see what's down here instead. Try that new activity, whatever it is. Change this thing in your diet, or create something in your space that kind of like inspired you on a social platform that you saw of some sort. Whatever the case may be, this is part of what will give you energy and bring back your feeling of being energized and excited and hopeful and inspired. Okay, is there anything else, Spirit? Is there anything else you'd like to say to the collective? Okay, nothing there. Okay, and what advice does Spirit have for you right now in this connection? Well, that was fast. Inner darkness. Hold safe space, knowing patterns, and release versus feed. It's also connected to this too, with this third eye, this light, this inner sight felt connected. I want to read a little bit about this one. I feel it has a lot of really incredible insight. And I think that, let's see, is that fire? Air. Inner darkness, 190. Okay. The dark night of the soul. When emotions, situations, or our thoughts are overwhelming, the resulting inner darkness can be daunting and hard to deal with, especially when it's accompanied by trauma or mental health issues. There are many reasons why the dark night of the soul comes upon us. And if you are dealing with darkness or have dealt with it in the past, this card invites you to be gentle with yourself and consider that there might be subconscious beliefs or patterns coming up that need some attention. Our subconscious holds our programming, beliefs, and memories, and is intrinsically tied to the body. When darkness arises, there is often something coming up that is being triggered or asking for some attention. Even old issues that we thought we had dealt with can come up in new layers that need a safe space. Okay. However, in the depth of darkness, it is often not the best time to dive into it. Doing so can be rough on your system. This is up to you and your intuition. If it feels too raw, don't go digging. Remember that in the process of healing, digging through old trauma, especially without the support of a professional, can be very dangerous. So instead of re-traumatizing yourself, focus on learning to listen to your system and see what you have the capacity for. You are enough. Above all, this card is a reminder that you are enough. Even in the darkest hour, you are lovable. Life ebbs and flows, and this wave will pass in one way or another. Focus on surviving today instead of despairing about what the rest of your life might look like if this persists. When the darkness comes, whatever form it takes, how do you hold yourself? Is it with compassion and acceptance? Or is it with shame and self-loathing? And this is feeling very familiar. So I feel like this has come out before. So this might be another gentle reminder that this is information that you need to know or be aware of in your pursuit of, understanding yourself. Okay, let's see. It is, or is it with shame and self-loathing? Some patterns can be difficult to break. So remember that wherever you are, it's okay. If you can, invite in some self-care and compassion for everything that you are, all that you've been through, and all that you have done. It's okay to not be okay. Don't gaslight yourself about having a hard time. Holding a safe space for yourself. In darkness, it is easy to overthink and spiral out of control in all the thoughts and emotions that come up. Instead, see if you can hold a safe space for what's coming up. If you don't have the capacity, that's okay too. Immerse yourself in self-care in the forms of rest, distraction, comfort food, or friends. On the flip side, you might be wary to dive into the darkness for fear that it will expand. This could happen if we spiral into darkness. Instead, shift into processing and release. Remember that these thoughts and feelings are alive in your subconscious whether you feed them or not, and processing them is the path to healing. Listen to your intuition to know when is the right time. Also, we are not meant to struggle alone. We need each other. Although there are times when we must find our strength in solitude, if you have friends or family, reach out. Convey to them the kind of safe space you need in order to feel held through this hard time. And in holding space for others, this card might be about holding space for the darkness of someone else who is struggling. If you are the one holding space, remember that the other person likely needs safety. Their emotions are allowed. Ask them what they need, and people generally either want advice or simply a safe space to vent. and express what is coming up without being judged or told what to do about it. If they don't know, just listen and validate their experience. Let them exist as they are without telling them what they should do or how their perspective is flawed. Being seen and heard is a powerful healing tool. And if you have advice to give, either ask permission before sharing or wait for them to ask for it. And this is reminding me of my son, who's been working through some things. And he shared something with me that he's not shared with anyone that was when he was younger in elementary school. And there was so much resistance and a fear to just verbally say it out loud. But I let him know that I wasn't going to judge him, and that I was here to listen to him, just so he had a space to let it out into the light of awareness. Let that darkness, that shame, whatever it is, out. And then it loses its power, and that's very true. But that overwhelming resistance and fear to share our vulnerabilities and things that we are, not proud of, or that we regret, or that were made in a heightened emotion, whatever the case may be. The resistance is, you just push past it and you say it, and there's almost like in him there was just an instant peace, and his shoulders were tense and carried up high, and there was really a discomfort in him to share this thing, but he instantly relaxed, and I could see it physically and feel it, right? Because I can feel his energy. I could feel it was released. It lost its power. It held no sway over him to just say it out loud. And I didn't offer him an opinion on what I thought, or that he should have done this, or he shouldn't have told that person, or why didn't you tell me? I did ask him later what kept him from telling me and all of these things, and we talked about it. But just the act of saying something has tremendous power to bring relief if there's something that you or your person is holding within. Okay, so for potential blocks, the block is simply being too hard on yourself. We are sometimes so close to the pain that we don't see the bigger picture of why our pain is valid, and just how much we do on this this journey of life. Remember that you are allowed to struggle, and please don't compare yourself to anyone else. However similar they may seem, all our journeys are different. Also, be aware of spiraling into the darkness. When we're triggered, it's easy to think of all the things that have gone wrong in our lives, when in reality it was just one thing that sparked the downward slide. And that's something I haven't seen it so much in myself, but I'm sure that I've done it. But I have seen it in people around me. When things go wrong, they have a tendency to just pull every bad life experience into this one singular topic and make it something humongous, and a story and a narrative built around it. And it just seems like a human condition, right? Not like something's wrong with us, but we just have a tendency to do that, right? So be mindful that this is a possibility. Let's see. Instead of hitting the self-destruct button and circling the drain, pause and give yourself a hug through the pain. And many conversations I have with my son. He's very intelligent, and he is a deep thinker, which I love that about him. It's a superpower. But we have conversations, and we can be our own worst critics, fault finding and flaws, and seeing every way in which we are not what we think we should be, or somebody told us we should be. But nobody comes to life and has a smooth ride. Nobody. It might be a good time for me right now and a horrible time for somebody else. But there will come a time when I am challenged to go through things that really, challenge me and test me and see what I'm made of, right? So looks are deceptive, and there's a world happening behind what we see on the outside of that said book cover. So comparing our experiences to others serves no purpose, because their minds are different. Their belief systems are different. They had a different upbringing, different familial standings, right? There's so many factors that make comparing our experience to another person's a completely invalid and waste of time thing to do. So if you're feeling darkness, if you feel like life has thrust you into a place that is scary and intense and something you feel ill prepared for, know that you're not alone and that it's okay to voice that you don't feel strong or ready or capable, whatever the case may be. There is significant power and courage in admitting humanity. Our society is so backwards in making people think that to be alone is strong. And that, by definition, is adversarial energy. What does adversarial energy do? It isolates, it separates. And what happens when people are isolated and separated? They do things to try and fill that void of being separate, right? We are not lone creatures. We thrive, we build, we create, we grow when we unite. So if you are feeling alone and that you have to carry the weight of whatever it is that you have on your shoulders, know that that is just a story that you are choosing to believe, and it's not true. Reach out to those who love you, or reach out to a professional if you need somebody to just hear what you have to say, to voice it, and to take the weight off your shoulders and to take that secret's power away. Reach out, connect. And be kind and compassionate, because what you're going through, you're meant to go through it. And you're also capable of getting through it and becoming a different person who's more equipped, more evolved, more mature on the other end of it, whatever it may be. And it's very difficult to keep your mind on that when the intensity of the experience is ever present, but it's very doable. So connect if you feel isolated. And I want to get an angel number. Actually, I want to get one of these. I feel called to get one of these. Discovering. Release old beliefs and limitations. What are your old beliefs and your old limitations? Open yourself to new ideas and endless possibilities. Embrace adaptability and the freedom to explore new perspectives. And also another mushroom, right? What could that mean? Right here. Let go of those toxic societal, like there's little mushrooms all through this society. Let those toxic societal beliefs go and choose something that's more in alignment with God. So again, embrace adaptability. Was it adaptogen? Thinking adaptogens too. And the freedom to explore new perspectives. As you let go of the past, you unlock deeper layers of your potential and discover the expansive worlds within. The kingdom of God lies within, right? Okay, this one flung over here, but it was face down. And let's get an angel number to close it out. What would you like to say to the collective? Oh, creativity. Oh, man. Okay. Creativity, the artist. Create something beautiful today. A mushroom. Mushrooms could mean something. Maybe this is a call for an exploration of plant medicine. Somebody told me that they'd read somewhere that it can rewire your mind just in one experience of doing it, rewire old limitations and beliefs. So maybe this is a call for plant. So 3 cards with mushrooms on them. That's so interesting. I'm going to read it. Okay. When you tap into the creative energy within, you unlock the riches of your inner being and you bring your vision to life. Allow your heart to open. Let your emotions flow and give voice to your soul. Embrace the freedom to express yourself fully, for this is where true magic and creativity are born. Communicate. Right? Express yourself fully. Express yourself fully. What do you have to lose? Fear. Fear can be bred from lies and untruths. While it is real in a survival sense, sometimes question it and don't blindly believe fear all the time. Sometimes it's there because it's your comfort zone boundary. It's the wall that divides where you are now and everywhere you want to go. Think back to a time where you were scared and you did the thing that scared you anyways, and how did you feel after you did it? I remember when I was younger, my sister and I went and did a rope swing in Moab. I don't remember what arch it was on, but they tied like a climbing rope that had dynamic flex to it, and you just jumped off the arch and you'd like swung in between it. And I remember it was one of the scariest things I did. Because you didn't just like take a step off and just go, boop. You had to literally run and just jump into this. And then there was this really, what seemed like an eternity of just before the rope caught, right? And before you started, it was just free falling. And to be, while it was a high arch, it was a very close, you're very close to the ground, right? So it wasn't like skydiving where you have thousands of feet to fall. It's just like, oh, I'm just right there. Hopefully this rope works. But it was one of the most fun things looking back that I've ever done. And I don't regret it for a minute. And if I would have let my fear tell me not to do it, I would have never had that experience. Also with climbing, also with like snowboarding, also with sharing uncomfortable, shameful truths with people, you know, secrets feel so much better when you let them out. They lose their power and the shame goes away, or it can begin to go away once you let it into the light, right? Adversarial energy keeps you feeling alone, isolated, shameful, fearful, hopeless. So anything that keeps you in that energy and that on the other side of it is fear, go do that thing today. Or make plans to do that thing very soon. You won't be disappointed if you did, because essentially what that is you being true and authentic to yourself. And you choosing yourself. And you choosing your love of God over that adversarial, shameful energy that keeps you in silence. Express, do something creative. Maybe this is a call for you to look into plant medicine in some sense. So this is saying something. Mushrooms, mushrooms, mushrooms. I don't know what kind of mushrooms those are. I'm not a mushroom expert, but I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope it was helpful for you. And if it was, like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. It helps my channel to grow, and it also shows me that you appreciate and you like the content that I'm putting out. It's also a beautiful way to, give reciprocity, or to show me that what I'm doing is meaningful and impactful, and that's your way of saying thank you. So I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll talk to you soon.